Hello. Kevin Epps here, Digital Brilliance Hour with another tutorial. All right, guys. I know I've been gone for a little while. I had a few things going on. Number one, I had to take me a vacation with the wifey. We went to the beach, had a great time, needed time away. Also, I have Digital Brilliance Hour going on right now. We have a session going on right now where we're still working towards the latest patch for Ogre's Mayhem. So that's taking a little time too. So we're real focused. We got a lot of tickets that we're working on that we're knocking out to get ready in the next couple weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks. So yeah, so been real busy with that. But I wanted to take this time while we are working on Ogre's Mayhem to do another tutorial. There are going to be more tutorials coming out more. So in the June time frame, I'm going to go down the list of topics that a lot of people have asked for. And I've also been studying the code base of the engine itself, you know, just to try to understand how things are written in the engine. It's been very enlightening for me, like being able to read code. I did a video about reading code. I'm trying to tell you that is like so helpful in understanding what it is you're trying to do and things of that nature. So I've been reading through the code base of the OpenBOR engine. Great stuff. But I want to take this opportunity to go through creating an enemy from an actual sprite sheet, because Mugen Archive doesn't necessarily have an enemy for this type or a model for this type of enemy. So this is going to be in a fire stage that we have where our forest is on fire. So there's going to be some army people in the stage and stuff like that. So we decided to go with this sprite sheet, this model here. So I want to take this opportunity to show you how to create an enemy, which is much easier than building a player out. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So right now I have this sprite sheet pulled up on Spriter's resource. This is a great site to get game rips from and get assets from. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click download this sheet. So go ahead and download. And the different tools that I will be using. Number one, I'll use GIMP, OpenBORStats, and batch file renamer, because we're gonna have to rename the files of the frames that we export from the sprite sheet. And also, don't know why I didn't have this opened up before, Alfred Sprite Unpacker. We definitely need that. So let me go ahead and open that up too. So this is how we'll be able to extract the sprites from the sprite sheet. Okay, so let's go ahead back here. We've already downloaded. We need to prep the sprite sheet for a quick second, because we just need to make sure that there is a background color, because we're using sprites, which means there needs to be a palette attached to these sprites. The only type of images that work that don't necessarily need palettes attached to them are backgrounds. Those can be 32-bit. After going through the code, I can tell that the sprites, you have to have an index color, a background index color and palette to be able to load any type of sprite into the game. I mean, that's common across all engines though. But so yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. I have it downloaded. We'll start with GIMP, because we need to make this, instead of trying to use pal apply and all of that to try to do that to a list of all kinds of frames, we're just going to do it here. So let's go ahead and open up as file downloaded. So here's the soldier file. So we're going to go ahead and open. We'll keep everything. Gonna keep and see what happens really quick. All right, so we're gonna keep this color profile. Number one, if we look into the mode, we'll see it's RGB, right? So we're gonna keep it at RGB for a second, but we'll definitely have to change it back to indexed once we fill in this background color. So let's go ahead and do that. There is a tool in GIMP called Select by Color. So you can actually use this tool to click on the transparent background, and it's going to select all the transparent colors in this image. So it's going to surround all these other sprites and all these other frames, and we'll go ahead and make this pink the foreground. I just like to use pink. You don't have to use pink. Pink for me, sprites don't necessarily have this color of pink in them, so I just use it. But you can use any other color that isn't in the sprite itself. So I hardly ever see pink in a sprite that I'm trying to, this color of pink anyway, in a sprite that I'm trying to use. So we'll go ahead and fill with the foreground color. So as you can see, it fills in the pink color. I'm going to go ahead and unselect. And actually I'm gonna change this to 200 just so you can see, so you can zoom in a little bit. All right, so you can see how these sprites are looking, and we will change back to 67 for now. All right, so we got all the colors we need. It has a background color. Next thing we're gonna do is go to image mode and go to index. We're gonna change this to index. I just keep the number of colors. I'll actually put it at 255 or at 256 because we already have the pink color, so we don't have to add the background color. So we're gonna click convert. Again, I'm going through this. If you have any questions on the palettes, how to deal with the palettes and the colors and the converting of the images and all of that, check out the earlier videos. They're all there. So I'm just kind of running through this, how I would approach it. And I'm gonna move a lot faster, but I'll also kind of talk through what I'm doing. All right, so we have this index now. So we're gonna go to color map, rearrange color map. Here's the pink color right here. We're gonna move it to the first point of the color map and click OK. Actually, I just learned that if I went to rearrange color map, it also changes the index color. The index number to 0, which is fine. I also, we'll just keep it how it is. Actually, this is what I'll do just to be on the safe side. I'm gonna still do the rotate colors. Looking at 2 clockwise. All right, so everything is how it should look. Yeah, we'll go ahead and export this. I think we're good here. So, and remember, the 0 is the transparent color for any sprite. So the index of 0 for a color palette is the transparent color in a sprite. So we're going to export as. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in my game assets folder. Let me change this back to alphabetical. In my game assets folder in my spring 2022. I'll just save it in here because I'm going to be creating things from it anyway, creating the frames and all that from it. So everything, we can keep everything the same here. Go ahead and click export. So now that that has been done, we actually need to go to where it's located. Spring 2022, August Mayhem, game assets. Here's the file right here. I am going to open up the sprite unpacker, just drag this right on in here. So as you can see, make this a little larger. As you can see, one thing that I really like, and you can move this around so this zoomed in crosshair isn't in the way. But one thing that I really like about this tool is that it tries to go in and find all the different frames for you, depending on the sprite sheet. Some sprite sheets, they try to move the frames in a little too close to each other, and sometimes the sprite unpacker can't always find each and every frame, so you'll have to go in and split them up yourself. But this is a pretty, they did a really good job on this sprite sheet, so I don't have to worry about doing all of that with this. So we have the idle here. As you can see, we've got the idle and it's broken out. You got the walk, You got the knife attack. You got another attack, which looks like a little jump slash. We're not going to use the grenade, but he has a grenade throw as well. We don't necessarily need that. Maybe a crouch. This could be used as your getting up, as your rise animation. Then you got your death animation and pain. So this is really all we need. We just really need the idle, the walk. He's not going to run. You got the knife attack, another knife attack. Not really an evasion. Yeah, he has the rise, he has the pain, and then death. All right. So now that we know what we're going to use these for, let's go ahead and create them. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to, not export. I was trying to go to options. And so what I usually do, I try to preserve the palette because I create the palette in GIMP and then just preserve it. So I'm going to preserve the palette and then also ask it to prompt for the export folder so I can tell it where to export my my frames. So update and close. So we'll start with idle. So we'll just click on, and when you select these, it's going to select them in order. I also kind of go through these buttons here too. So we got a deselect that actually deselects all of them. You can select all if you want. So yeah, so these two other buttons kind of help with that. You can combine any that are selected. Like I said, you can use a split. You can paste things in, or you can reload and have it refresh and kind of reanalyze the sprite sheet. So yeah, so this is how this works. I just wanted to quickly go through that. All right, so we're in idle. So I'm going to click these one at a time, starting from left to right. And again, these clicks are going to be done in order. So it's going to track each click. So now I'm going to go ahead and export. And usually what I do is I'm going to export them inside of the game assets folder for Ogre's Mayhem. And inside this folder, I thought I had a folder create. Well, I'll create it now. There is a folder. I'll say enemies. And inside of enemies, I'll create a new folder called soldier. And inside of that folder, I'll create idle. And so we're going to export these in the idle folder. So go ahead and click OK. So it's going to do that. And then notice that it just gives numbers here, right? It just gives numbers for your animation. Or anytime you export the frames, it's not going to give any names. So we can go about this two ways, actually. I'm actually going to be using the renamer to rename all these, but you could actually export these in their own folder and still just use that folder structure anyway. But one of the problems that's going to happen though, you could either, so I'm going to show you the easier way. There are multiple ways, but I'm just going to show you the easier way. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. So yeah, so this has been created. It opens up the folder for you. I'm going to close it out for now. And going to go ahead and deselect and now start with the walk. So again, click these one by one. Export. Now create a new folder for walk. And export. As you can see, there's 11 frames there, or 12. All right, deselect. Knife attack. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12. All right. And this is going to be attack 1. This is going to be attack 2. So go ahead and export. Soldier, attack 1. All right. Okay. So it's exported that. And deselect, and I'm just gonna keep going. Export. Make new folder. Attack 2. Okay, it exports. There we go. All right, we don't need to worry about the grenade or the evasions. We'll keep this. So the crouching, we'll do the crouching. We're gonna use this as rise, but we're gonna do it in opposite order. Actually, let me deselect. I forgot deselect, and so we'll click in this direction, because then that'll make him rise instead of crouch. So we're gonna go ahead and export. We'll go ahead to soldier, make new folder, rise. Okay. As you can see, if we looked at the first one, see, you see how the first one is 0? I mean, the 0 is starting from the right. That's what I said. Tracks your mouse, tracks which one you click first. All right, so deselect. Then we got the depth here. Actually, might use I'll get all of these and I'll just figure out which one I want to use. I'm not going to use this one though, because no one's getting shot. All right, so 1, 2, 3. All right, export. So we'll call that, we'll say fall 1. We'll call this fall 1. And then deselect fall 2. Fall 2. There we go. Deselect fall 3. Fall 3. All right. This should be the last of it. So this is all we needed here, right? So actually, I might use this. I'm gonna use this too, actually. Let's see. Does he walk? Well, you know what? I'm just gonna use him. I might use this for this fire stage, like where he's kind of walking through at a very slow, and you could either kill him or yeah. So let me do a couple things. So we'll need to, I wonder, I can't. What I was going to try to do, I was going to try this. Oh, we can do this. So if you hold control, you can select all of the frames and then you can combine. Bam. All right, so we'll do this again. And so make sure to select them all here. All right, so all of them are selected. Combine. All of these are selected. Combine. I wasn't even planning on doing this, but I'm glad I did it because, yeah, I wouldn't have known. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just get all of these, actually. I might use this, so I might as well. Oh, hold on. I didn't combine this one. Control. All right, combine. All right, there we go. Deselect. All right, there we go. Let's do this again. Again, you got to click these one at a time. I would rather do it that way. Let me just say. I saw that you can use control and select them, but I want to make sure I control the order of these instead of trying to use control. So you can do it however you want, but this is how I tend to do it because I want to make sure they stay in order. All right, and so we're gonna export. Call this burn. Let's just name this burn. Awesome. All right, so they're all in here. So I don't need this anymore. I'll go ahead and close it. All right, so now that we have extracted all of the frames necessary for our enemy, we're going to actually rename these frames using the batch file renamer tool. And if you haven't used this before, I'll kind of quickly explain how to use this tool so you can choose your drive. So we want to find the different folders that contain all of the files, and what this tool does is rename all of the files in a particular folder, like automatically. Batch, that's what it is, batch mini. All right, so we are in the C drive. By default, it opens up the folder that this application is stored in. So it's stored in DBH course, OpenBOR tools, and tools batch file renamer. So we're going to find the actual folder that's inside of our game assets folder. So we need to go back to DBH game class. Then and you double click so it'll refresh the different subfolders. So DBH game class. So we'll keep scrolling until we get to spring 2022. Here we go. Ogre's Mayhem. We'll look for game assets. Here we go. Then we're looking for enemies. We're enemy. All right, enemies. Soldier. All right. Now that we have soldier, we'll start with attack. We'll just go down the list. So attack 1 and click select. So attack 1, the folder is here. This is what you want to rename the files as. So it's going to rename them whatever you want to name them. The pound sign represents the number that's attached to the file name. So in our instance, this is attack 1. So we're just going to name this attack 1, and I usually put a dash before the pound sign. This is telling you this is going to represent the number beside attack 1. And so you can generate to see what the file names are going to look like before. And here's something that this does that I wish I knew a workaround for this, because the order that it decides to order these file names in, it doesn't necessarily always do it by the file name. So I'm just gonna click yeah, that's the only thing. Let's try to do 000. That is the only thing. Yeah. Let's see if we can do it this way. Yeah, that is the only thing that I have issue with, is how to because 10 and 11, it tries to order these instead of by a numeric order. It tries to order these based on whatever order that's called. I forgot what that's called and I can't remember. So we may have to order these sprites ourselves because of that. I don't know a workaround for that. I've been trying to figure that out. And it just will not work for some reason. But anyway, once we've done this, we'll go ahead and click start renaming. So that's what it's done, as you can see, and we can move on to the next folder. So we'll go to, actually just double click here and then click attack 2, select. We'll do the same thing, just change this to attack 2, generate. You can see how the names will look. Start renaming, it officially changes. We'll just keep going down. So we'll rename. So this is burn. All right. Burn, generate, start renaming. Fall 1. 1, generate, rename, fall 2, generate, rename, fall 3, generate, rename, idle, generate, rename, rise, generate, rename, then walk. Change this to walk. Generate, rename. All right, so all of these are done. We'll probably have to do some reordering because of how this tool sometimes doesn't order the file names properly, or the initial file names or source file names. So, but we're done with this tool. Now we're going to move to OpenBORStats now. Now that we're at OpenBORStats, let's go ahead and open up the game here. So Ogre's Mayhem in spring 2022. All right, so we have this loaded in, and we're going to right click and add character entity. At this point, we see that we already have the template added here. So we have this template here. We're just going to keep the enemy minimum. We're going to we're not going to use load, and we're going to name this soldier. We'll just name it soldier for now. Chars is going to be in the chars folder, and click add. Ask you to reload. So we're going to go reload, go back to the enemy, and you should see soldier in here. Okay, so soldier is here. I'm going to double click. So now we see soldier. We see graphic shadow. I'm actually just going to change this to shadow 2 for now, because all the other models use shadow 2. Right now we just keep the health. We'll keep the enemy. We'll keep speed at 10 as well. So we got attack 1 already in here. Fall, which is your death. Idle, pain, rise, walk. And remember, we have another attack, so we'll just go ahead and create that. That is called attack 2. All right, so we have attack 1, attack 2. And we'll go ahead and just start with attack 1, and whatever is missing, we'll just add it in. All right, so we're in attack 1, and we'll go down the list. We already have a delay and an offset and a B box. This stuff isn't going to apply. This is just an example of how things should look in the code, but you can get rid of it, which I'm actually about to do. So bam. And now I want to add the frames related to attack 1 into this animation. So we're going to right click on attack 1. We're going to import, and actually you can copy files. You can also copy directory. So you know what? Oh, I've already renamed them, but you could also copy the directory as well inside of but copy files. So we're going to go to our enemy soldier, attack 1. These are PNG files, so make sure you're looking for those, or all files. Either of those will show up. You can hit Control A to select all of them, and then click open. If we go back to frames, you can see where this is, where these frames are, and we need to make sure that these frames are in order. So we can do this by 2 ways. We can either look at this sprite sheet to make sure. So we have, and these two are probably last. Yeah, if I remember from looking at this inside of the renaming tool, these two are probably last. So we're going to go to our editor here, and we're going to put, yeah, so these two, we're going to move those to the bottom. So 3 and 4. So do Control X, then Control V. And if we go back to the frames, we'll see that it makes more sense now. Let me go back. Let me save. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3. This one's next. If we just look at the order here. Actually, I'm kind of glad I took this route so I can show you how to also fix animations so everything looks fluid as well. So we have 5 here, which is 7. So we're going to move 7 underneath frame 5. So bam, 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 bam. And then we have these 3. These 3. Then this, and then these 2. Wow. All out of order. All right. So 8 and 10. Let me make this larger. All right. So we have this one, 10 and 12. And we are going to put that under 7. Control X, Control V, save again. All right, so now it's looking a little bit more fluid. We need to move this one, then this one, then this one. So 9, then 8, then 6. All right, this looks a lot better now. So we got bam, 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 bam. That's a clean swipe. Clean swipe. All right. So now that we have that, we'll go ahead and add the frames in, and then in the next video we'll clean up the boxes and the offsets. So we'll do that in the next video. All right. So we'll keep going though. We got fall. We'll use the probably fall. Which one? Let's use out of these. We'll use this one, I guess. Actually, we'll use this one. This one is fall 1. So we'll use fall 1. So we'll get rid of these. Right click, import, copy files. We'll go to fall 1, Control A. We'll go back here. Yep, these are out of order. All right, but this isn't as bad as the other one. So the only one that's out of place is this number 3. So we'll just move that back to the bottom. So 3. All right. Let's Control V. All right, there we go. So that is going to be your fall. Then idle. Idle, we don't have to worry about those issues. Again, we'll get rid of this other text. Right click and go to our import. Copy files, go to idle, Control A. All right, we go to frames here, animate. There you go. So that's there. Now we're at pane. So go back to editor. We'll probably need to change that delay, but we will, right now, all we're doing is just inserting the frames into this model. So import, copy files, which actually, before I do that, which one do I want to use for pane? I think we said that we wanted to use, we'll use these first two frames. First two frames, that'll work. First two frames of, and this is, I believe this is fall. Yeah, this is fall 2. And the first two frames of fall 2. All right, so 1 and 2. We'll use 3 just to be on the safe side. All right. All right, so if we go to frames here, we got, yeah, we'll keep the third one in there. So he looks a little ridiculous. All right, so there's your pane. Then we have rise. So let's go back to editor, get rid of all this information. We're gonna rise, import, copy, rise, Control A. Go to frames. Yeah, there we go. So looking up. There we go. So that's a good rise, ain't it? All right. So then we got the walk here. Go back, get rid of these here. Import, copy. Let's go to our walk. Yeah, this is much easier to do because everything is organized. We organized everything at the very beginning, so we can just right click and move stuff in. Again, next time I'm going to use directory though. All right, but click open. So if we go to frames, it's probably out of order too. All right, so, and also I'm actually going to go here as well and look at walk. So bam, 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 bam. So let's see. Let me make sure. Okay. So we got that. I can't really show my eyes looking at both, but I'm studying both what's on the Spritesheet and what's in OpenBORStats. So yeah, so bam, bam. So this, so these two, let me look here. Yep, these should be the last two. All right, so let's see what happens when I first start with moving these two towards the end. Last time I tried that with the attack, now like it didn't want to work. So we'll see what happens this time. Okay. So bam, 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 okay, bam, 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 bam. Okay, so let's see what's at the rest. Okay, we're right here. Okay, bam, 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 bam. All right, cool. It worked this time. All right, cool. So let me animate it. There we go. Looking good, looking good. All right, attack 2 now. We'll go ahead and put a delay in here. We'll do a delay 7 for now. We'll do a delay 7. We're going to right click and import, copy files. You already know how to go now. And we're going to do attack 2. And Control A. Open. So yeah, so we definitely, I know these got to be out of order. So let's see here. There are 13. So I'm wondering if these 4 are out of place. And if we look here, yeah, they're probably out of place. So these 4, you want to know how? Because again, I'm thinking about how tool batch, the renamer tool or whatever. I'm thinking about how they would order these images based on the double digits. So like basically they would take 0, 1, then take all the double digit ones and move them under 1. So let's see. So actually you would be starting with I just want to make sure I got the right thing. So it should be this one. Bam, bam, bam. And which one is, okay, here we go. Okay. So this one. This one. So which one is this one? So it's this one. These 2, I mean these 3. There we go. They're 13. So I was doing it the wrong way. So these 3 will go at the end. So 3, 4, 5. So we'll go ahead and get 3, 4, 5. Control X, Control V. So now, if we go back and look at these, so bam, 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 bam. All right. So let's look at the animate. Oh, this is like a double. Yeah. All right, so we got a double stab here. Okay. All right, so we got the double stab. We got the attack. And then I'm just going to put a follow in here. So I'm just going to put a follow because this, and let me just click on it again. This will be that burn animation. So go ahead and handle that. Oh, go ahead and put my delay. I guess I don't really need that. All right, right click, import, copy files, burn. Let's go all the way to 22. So man, I know these are out of order. All right, so open, go to frames. Cause really what I'll just keep these in here. I'm just gonna put them in order for now. Or try to. Because what I want to do is I want them to run, and then when they get hit, you know, they'll just tumble over. So I have to look into this one. So we'll do this. So we got this. So it seemed like these next 2 all right, so which one is this one? I'm trying to figure out which one this one is. So I believe it's this one. This one is this one. All right, so we got these. Let me keep going. All right, so from here to 12, that's going to go to the end. And then these two are going to the end. Got it. All right, so start here. So we'll go to editor. So 3 through 12. So 3 through 12. All right, we'll go back. Then these two. 14 and 15. X. All right, paste. Now if we look at it, there we go. Yeah, so these would be a walk. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and do that while I know. So bam, 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 bam. So this is here. And this is when he died. Okay. So this is follow. We'll make this follow 1. So here to here. All right. So from first one to this one. 20. Okay, and then we're gonna make another follow. We'll call this follow 1, I guess. It don't matter, I'll change the name later. Delay, so it makes more sense. Delay and paste. Now if we go to frames, yeah, so they'll be walking through. Yeah, but anyway, all right, so let's look at all of the animations really quick. Again, we can speed it up and fast however we want. Just want to make sure the animation looks smooth. Then we got the death. Yep. Then we got the idle. Pain. Rise. Walk. Attack. You got the death of the burn victim. And then the walking on fire bit. Cool. All right. So we'll go ahead and save this for now. And then we'll work on adding the offsets and the bounding boxes and all of that. See you soon. We hope you're learning what you can from these free tutorials. Again, if you feel you need more in-depth or extensive services or extra help with learning and getting the most out of this and don't want to wait on the videos, please feel free to join our DBH community for only $5. That doesn't mean you can't ask questions on here though. So if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to post those. Like and share this playlist for those who may need it. At the end of the day, we just want to help people build their engineering and coding skills to be efficient wherever they want to go. I'm Kevin. Appreciate you watching and be brilliant. Peace.